The Uttermost Part of the Earth, by John Thomas Mawson. The last words that fell from the lips of the Lord before he ascended to heaven were, "to the uttermost part of the earth." They come down even to us with all his authority, and with that peculiar force that his last words must have for us if we love him. They describe for us the far-flung sphere in which his name had to be preached for man's blessing, the sphere in which the energy of his servants had to find expression. To be indifferent to the work of the Lord then in distant lands most clearly indicates indifference to his word and his work everywhere, for his work is one. But genuine, enlightened interest in the Lord's work will not be confined only to the conversion of sinners, whether in heathen lands or at home, but it will also show itself in the desire to see those who are converted standing, perfect and complete in all the will of God. The great majority of our readers are restricted in their activities to the districts where they live. It would not be God's will for them to move out, though it may be that the Lord is waiting for others to say to him, "Lord, here am I, send me," but all, whether they stay at home or go abroad, should be interested in, and have the privilege of sharing in the work by supplication, prayer, and intercession with thanksgiving. We desire to interest our readers in one spot which is truly the uttermost part of the earth, the Solomon Islands in the South Seas. Here former cannibals now gather in holy fellowship together in the name of the Lord, and while the work spreads the difficulties are many, and some of these difficulties are explained to us in Dr. Northcote Deck's latest circular, which he entitles, "Holding Fast the Faithful Word," see below. We venture to reproduce one part of this circular, so that our readers, informed as to some of the difficulties that arise in these assemblies, may have matter for prayer. Another thing, in being interested in and praying for these fellow citizens with the saints, and of the household of God, who were once in the very lowest degradation and darkness, we are able to give some expression to the great and blessed truth that there is one body, the members of which should have the same care for one another. Holding fast the faithful word. In this work for God in the Solomons, the very success of the mission is becoming one of its gravest dangers. On a large scale God has begun to do and teach, so that about 3,000 have become reconciled to God. Yet the chiefest peril for the future spread of the gospel lies in these same God-given converts. When a babe is born, the mother's work is but beginning, not ending. And remembering the perils, the divisions, the heresies of the early church, in spite of Pentecost, in spite of the manifested power of the Spirit, in spite of apostolic prayers and guidance, it is demonstrated that even when large numbers are truly converted, the evil one is merely foiled. He may apparently depart, for a season, but it is merely to return with fresh devices, subtle seductions and temptations, if he may deceive even the elect. One of the most impressive lessons one learns in the mission field is the diversity of his operations, the resources of his attacks, and, humanly speaking, one's heart would fail with the cry, "Who is sufficient for these things?" Thank God he has laid help upon one who is mighty. Yet if in any way these infant churches become sidetracked, and thereby lose their first love, their present powerful witness to the heathen will be quickly limited, and the further progress of the gospel impeded.